Well, howdy. I'm trying to do different intros. I'm not sure how that's working. Anyway, this is Q&A part 4. And so I'm just going to get right on it. Right on into it. Weird day, y'all. Just weird day. Anyway, I hope you are all having a good day. I'm having a pretty good day. It's a little my day's a little off today, but that's okay. Decided to bring you back outside today. It's nice. The only thing I don't like about being outside and filming is because you really see my age. But it is what it is. That's okay. All right, so let's get on with this. Shall we? Oh, I don't know what I've got going on there, but anyway. Okay, it says, Bonnie Walker wants to know, do I make flip books and pocket letters? I just started doing that. I had never done that kind of thing before. But watching YouTube videos and getting involved with this community, I see that that's a big thing. And I like working with paper and doing stuff like that. So I decided that I would give it a try. So I've been doing a little bit here and there. So, yeah. I guess I do now, don't I? Okay, and Peggy E wants to know, as a little girl, were you always creative in making things? Not necessarily making things, but in my own way, I guess I was creative. I always made up, well, I used to write a lot. I used to write poetry a lot, which my mom, bless her heart, until the fire, had tons of stuff that I had written as a young girl, but we lost all that. But yeah, I've had some kind of creative outlet, I guess, all my life, really. So I was constantly redoing, back in the day when girls play with Barbies, up until they were like 13 years old. I used to constantly revamp my Barbie clothes and make them more blingy. So, yeah. So I've always had some kind of creative outlet. Christine Lazar wants to know, what is your favorite thing in all? I don't know if she's referring to crafting or if she's referring to life in general. So I'm going to try to put a little bit of both in there. In crafting, my favorite thing is sewing. I always love to create beautiful things. I try to, you know, I try to make beautiful things. My favorite thing in all is spending time with my husband. I used to crack a joke all the time, or, you know, me and my husband did together kind of crack a joke to people. You know, because you hear people complaining about their spouses a lot. And I don't think I've ever done that because I've been so blessed with my soulmate in life that God saw fit to bless me with. But we used to make a joke that, you know, we could spend 24/7 together and we'd be fine. Well, you know, unbeknownst to you, when you say things like that, you know, it comes to pass. So when he got put on disability back in 2009, you know, we're together 24/7, and we love it. We're just, you know, he's my best friend. He is literally my best friend in all the world, and it's just, you know, that's my favorite thing to do, is just spend time with him. So, hope I answered that question right. I don't know if she was referring, you know, to crafts or whatever, but anyway. And Linda Gregory asked, how long have I been married? And I think I've answered this several times, but I've been married 42 years. Yeah. To the same man, as I will repeat over and over again, because that is a rarity in today's times. So, Renda Ranson wants to know, what do you do with all the crafts that I make? I give away a lot of stuff. I just like to bless people. And so a lot of the things that I make, I give away. I think I've said before that I make things for the facility where my mom is at now. And I do... most everything I do is consider, you know, I consider it some kind of gift. I just like to bless people with things. What they do with them after they get them, that's up to them. Cat Mabe wants to know what is my favorite color. My favorite color is almost a combination of two colors. It is lavender or purple. But it has to be a certain shade of purple. But I'm more inclined to like the antique looking lavender, the vintage lavender. So yeah, that is my favorite color. Dina Panuski wants to know my favorite movie and my favorite actor. Wow. I like a really well-made movie, but my favorite movies, which I have several, but my favorite type of movie is, I love a good old-fashioned black and white mystery romance type movie. Yeah. Favorite movie of all time would have to be It's a Wonderful Life. Just because I just love that movie. I have to watch it every Christmas or it's not Christmas. My favorite actor of all time is actually Johnny Depp. Because he can play any role and be great at it. And, you know, I just love him in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies because he's just so out there. But I love him in just about everything. Now, there's a couple of his movies that I won't watch because of the content. But yeah, I mean, he's just such a versatile actor. I love Robin Williams for the very same reason. And my favorite movie by him happens to be Patch Adams, which is a little known type movie. And I do have one that Robin Williams stars in that is, to me, it's out there. Most people would not like it because of the content, I think. But it's called What Dreams May Come. And it is, to me, the ultimate love story. If you haven't seen it, you know, be prepared for some weirdness in it. But it is just the ultimate love story of all time to me. So, yeah. Renee Bergstaff wants to know what is my favorite crafting thing to do. And I think I've said sewing several times. I also enjoy jewelry making and silk flower arranging. So, Sassy Carmen. My sweet Carmen wants to know, is my husband my high school sweetheart, love? And she wants to know the secret to a long-lasting relationship and a marriage, and is my husband a man of faith? So I'll answer that one first. Yes, my husband is a man of faith. Strong faith. He astounds me to no end with his faith. So, yeah. Definitely a man of faith. My secret to a long-lasting relationship and a marriage? Communication. Yeah, and I think you have to consider your spouse your best friend. My husband's not a crafty person. He doesn't enjoy making crafts, but he does enjoy, when I come up with new ideas for stuff, making things that he can make with his disability. Yeah, I mean, it just has to be your best friend. That's it. It just has to be your best friend. And you have to keep the lines of communication open at all times. And that sounds so cliche, but it's true. It is so true. Is my husband my high school sweetheart? You're going to have to wait and hear. The last video that I will be doing of this series will be about me and my husband. So you just have to wait, Carmen. You just have to wait. So, Rhonda Airy, I hope I'm saying that right, wants to know, do I have any brothers and sisters? And where do I fit in? Excuse me. I have one biological brother. I should have had two. My mama's first baby was a hydrocephalic baby, and he died at 6 months. And then she had me, and then my baby brother. So I guess I would have been a middle child. I also have 2 stepbrothers and a stepsister, which I love. So, yeah. Have you always lived in NC? No, not always. I think I answered that one time before, but when I was little, we did some traveling back and forth, and me and my husband have always lived in North Carolina. So, yeah. Pamela Fortman wants to know, do I like to cook? My favorite thing to cook and my favorite thing to eat. I was thinking I might have answered that before. I think I did. Yes, I do like to cook. The problem with me is I don't know how to cook small. I fed 6 people for so long that I just don't know how to cook small. So, my favorite thing to cook is probably my casserole that I talked about before and lasagna. Just because that's what my crowd loves to eat so good. And I do a big Thanksgiving spread and a smaller Christmas spread, but a huge Thanksgiving spread. My favorite thing to eat is a Greek salad. A really good Greek salad that, is made the proper way. Which are hard to find, but you can find them. There's a place that, we used to live in Southport, North Carolina, and there's a place down there called Famous Subs and Pizzas, and it's run by a Greek family. Oh my gosh. First of all, the pizza is amazing, but it is real pizza with real cheese, and it is loaded with grease. But they make the most fabulous Greek salad ever. Okay, next question. Patricia Stevens wants to know, why don't I do more crafting videos? I really don't have a setup to do that yet. I'm trying to still work on that. And I'm still trying to figure out what kind of crafts I can show you that I do. I don't know. It would be really hard to show jewelry making, I think, because it's such a long process, I guess. And I don't know how to show, I wouldn't even know how to show a flower arranging video. I could try. I might try that. But, y'all give me some ideas as to what you would like to see, and I will certainly try to work on figuring out a way to film it. Because I just go brain dead sometimes, y'all. I just do. Okay, let's see how long. Okay. Dale McLean wants to know, what is your favorite hymn and why? I actually have 3. For various reasons. My first one is the Old Rugged Cross. And that one is because during the time that I lived with my grandma when I was a little girl, we had, her house was limited in space. So I shared a bedroom with her. Now, because she was bedridden, my grandma and grandpa had separate bedrooms. So I shared a bedroom with my grandma, and she was a great woman of faith. I used to read the Bible to her at night before we would go to sleep. Excuse me. And she always ended the night by singing the Old Rugged Cross in her sweet elderly voice. It just sounded like angels singing to me. So that is because of her, that song, the Old Rugged Cross. My second favorite hymn is In the Garden, because it reminds us that we need to take time to spend peaceful moments with the Lord. We need to just take the time to refresh with Him. And so that's why that one. And the third favorite one is I Want to Stroll Over Heaven with You. Now, it's a good old Southern gospel song. And I had never heard that song until we got saved in the church. Oh, my lands, my son will be 37 his next birthday, so 37 years ago. And I heard that song for the first time, and it just touched me so deeply because, you know, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how heaven is set up personally, but I just hope and pray that the Lord would give me an opportunity to stroll through heaven with my husband. So that's that. Ashley wants to know, what is your and hubby's favorite thing to do together? Everything. Anything that we can do together, we try to do together. Yeah, I mean, it's just, we really don't have a favorite thing to do together. We just do everything together. So I guess it's all favorite things to do together. Ronnie T wants to know, what is my favorite find at Goodwill? Wow. I found so many awesome things at Goodwill. I think, though, my favorite thing that I found actually happened after the fire. And it doesn't get really cold here during the winter. But you still have to have a good winter coat. And so after the fire, you know, we went through the summer and we didn't think about coats. And then we had to go hunting coats when it started getting cooler. And I found a beautiful woman's London Fog wool coat, a long ankle length type coat for $15. And it was in excellent shape. And it is, oh, it's gorgeous. It's just, I mean, it's beautiful. And I just love it. And I've worn it every winter since, which this will be the third winter. So, yeah. Cheryl Thrasher wants to know, how long have I been sewing and crafting? You know, like I said, since the time I was about 8 years old, I've been doing some kind of sewing or crafting, or, you know, I used to do a lot when I was younger, because my grandma taught me how to do this, was candle wicking. And me and her together made a lot of pillow covers and pillow cases with doing candle wicking. So I hadn't even thought about that until now, but yeah. Oh my goodness. Jacqueline Roy wants to know, what is my favorite crafting? Sewing. Absolutely. Yolanda Gonzalez wants to know, do I have kids? She has 4 questions here. Do I have kids? Yes, I have 2 biological and 2 grandchildren that I have raised. And then how long have I been married? 42 years. Do I have any pets? I have a Chihuahua, an Applehead Chihuahua, which I dearly love. We rescued her from a puppy mill back in 2010, I think. So, yeah. So we've had her for quite a while, and we just, oh my gosh, I just love her. Her name is Bambi. I introduced her in one of my videos way back. So, and do I have any hobbies? And of course, hobbies would be crafting and reading. So, yeah. Linda Wittenberg wants to know, how long married? 42 years. And will you ever see hubby? Yes, he has said that he will do a video with me someday. We're still waiting to get the volume in his voice back up. We actually have a trip to Durham to the medical facilities there to see what else they're going to do about that. So, and that's coming up this week. Debbie D, and then I think I'm gonna make this the last question. Debbie D wants to know how my love of peacocks started, and have I ever petted one? This might sound strange to a lot of people. And again, it refers back to my grandma, because like I said, I spent a lot of time with her. She was just a sweet woman of God, and she used to, a very wise woman, and she used to tell me a lot of things. And one night we were laying in bed talking about the beauty of our world. And she said, do you have a favorite bird? And I told her, I said, no, I really hadn't thought about it and everything. And she said, well, let me tell you a couple of stories. So she told me a story about an eagle, and how an eagle, when they get worn out and tired and start looking roughly, they will go to the top of a mountain and literally preen themselves almost bald and whip their beaks against the top of the mountain and knock their beaks off. They will then grow a new beak. They will grow new feathers, and they will resume their lives. And then she said, she was telling me the story about the peacock. And she said, you know, the peahen looks a lot different. Like in a cardinal, you know, the female looks dull and, you know, just doesn't show itself very much. Whereas the male cardinal is the bright red and all that. And she said the peahen and the peacock are the same way. She said the peahen is oftentimes gray mottled, and you can hardly see them in foliage and stuff like that. And she said, and the male peacock is beautifully adorned, and shows its feathers quite often. And she said, she asked me, she said, do you know why they do that? And I'm like, no, Grandma, I don't. She said the female bird is normally where they can hide. They can, you know, be unseen. And they do that. They're like that because they are the keepers of the nest. And when they are covering their young, they can't be seen, so the young are protected. Whereas the male species flaunts its colors and flaunts itself and will fluff itself up to make itself look bigger, to protect the nest in that way. And so I love peacocks. I love the colors that they display, but I also love the peahen, because, you know, as a mother, we like to protect our young. And so that, you know, that started my love of peacocks. I also, as I've said before, love eagles. You know, they're such magnificent birds of strength. And so, yeah, that started my love of peacocks. Hope that answers your question. That was a long answer, and I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm going to end this video. And I will get back with you in the next video. I hope you're enjoying this. If you are, please let me know in the comments below. And if you're just tuning in and you like this video, I suggest that you go back and check out some of my other ones. And then if you like what you see, then hit the subscribe button. I can't talk. Hit the subscribe button. Become part of my friends and family. Yeah. So I love you guys. May you all have a wonderful and blessed day. And don't forget to love on each other. So bye from North Carolina.